According to the 2002 National Electrical Code, specifically Section 334.12, non-metallic sheath cable, often referred to as NM cable, cannot be used in open runs within dropped or suspended ceilings. An open run, as defined by the NEC, is a cable run that is not enclosed in a raceway, cable tray, or other approved enclosure. When NM cable is run through drilled holes in 2x12 rafters that are located 6 inches above a suspended ceiling, and the cable does not lay on or is not suspended from the ceiling itself, it's generally understood that this does not constitute an open run in a suspended ceiling. Therefore, such an installation is permissible under the NEC guidelines because the cable is supported and protected by the structure it passes through, namely the drilled rafters. The purpose of restricting open runs of NM cable in suspended ceilings is primarily for safety. Suspended ceilings are often used as plenums for air handling, and in the event of a fire, exposed NM cable could contribute to the spread of flames and smoke. Additionally, NM cable that is not properly supported can be subject to physical damage, which could lead to electrical hazards. When NM cable is installed through drilled holes in framing members like rafters, it is considered to be adequately supported and protected, thus mitigating the risks associated with open runs. The NEC provides specific requirements for the support and protection of NM cable, which must be followed to ensure a safe and compliant installation. Firstly, NM cable must be secured by staples, cable ties, straps, or similar fittings designed and installed so as not to damage the cable. Secondly, NM cable must be supported and secured to the building structure in such a manner that it will not be damaged by normal building use. Thirdly, NM cable must be protected from physical damage where necessary, such as in areas where it is exposed to mechanical abrasion or impact. In the context of running NM cable through drilled holes in rafters above a suspended ceiling, it's important to ensure that the holes are drilled in the center of the rafter and that the cable is not pulled too tightly, which could cause damage to the insulation. Additionally, if the cable passes through metal framing members, it must be protected by bushings or grommets to prevent abrasion. The interpretation of the NEC can sometimes be complex and may vary depending on local jurisdictions. It is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to ensure that your installation meets all applicable requirements. Furthermore, understanding the specific definitions and requirements outlined in the NEC is crucial for ensuring a safe and compliant electrical installation. For example, the NEC defines a raceway as an enclosed channel designed expressly for holding wires, cables, or busbars, with additional functions as permitted in this code. Raceways may be of metal or insulating material, and the term includes rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, rigid non-metallic conduit, electrical non-metallic tubing, underfloor raceways, cellular floor raceways, surface raceways, and wireways. A cable tray is a unit or assembly of units or sections and associated fittings forming a structural system used to securely fasten or support cables and raceways. Cable trays include ladder, ventilated trough, solid bottom, ventilated channel, and other similar structures. An approved enclosure is a housing that is designed to protect electrical components from environmental factors such as moisture, dust, and physical damage. Enclosures must be approved for this specific application and must meet the requirements of the NEC and other applicable standards. In summary, running NM cable through drilled holes in rafters above a suspended ceiling is generally permitted by the NEC, provided that the cable is properly supported and protected and does not constitute an open run within the suspended ceiling itself. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC and consult with a qualified electrical professional to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The intent of the NEC is to provide practical safeguarding of persons and property from hazards arising from the use of electricity. Compliance with the NEC is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Understanding the definitions and requirements outlined in the NEC is crucial for all electrical professionals and anyone involved in electrical work. The NEC is a comprehensive document that covers a wide range of electrical topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. Staying current with the latest edition of the NEC is essential for ensuring that electrical installations are safe and compliant. In addition to the specific requirements for NM cable, the NEC also includes general requirements for all wiring methods. These requirements cover topics such as conductor ampacity, overcurrent protection, grounding, and bonding. Conductor ampacity refers to the maximum current, in amps, that a conductor can carry continuously under the conditions of use without exceeding its temperature rating. The ampacity of a conductor is determined by factors such as its size, insulation type, and ambient temperature. Overcurrent protection is provided by circuit breakers and fuses, which are designed to interrupt the flow of current in the event of an overload or short circuit. Overcurrent protection devices must be sized appropriately to protect the conductors and equipment they serve. Grounding is the process of connecting electrical equipment and systems to the earth. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to protect people from electric shock and reduce the risk of fire. Bonding is the process of connecting metal parts of electrical equipment and systems together. Bonding helps to create a low impedance path for fault current to flow, which improves the effectiveness of the grounding system. In the context of running an NM cable through drilled holes in rafters above a suspended ceiling, it's important to ensure that the cable is properly grounded and bonded. This can be accomplished by connecting the grounding conductor in the NM cable to the grounding system of the building. Additionally, any metal parts of the suspended ceiling system must be bonded together to ensure that they are at the same electrical potential. The NEC also includes requirements for the installation of electrical equipment in suspended ceilings. These requirements cover topics such as the support of equipment, the accessibility of equipment, and the protection of equipment from physical damage. Electrical equipment installed in suspended ceilings must be securely supported and must be accessible for maintenance and repair. Additionally, electrical equipment must be protected from physical damage, such as from falling objects or from contact with the suspended ceiling grid. When installing electrical equipment in suspended ceilings, it's important to follow all applicable NEC requirements to ensure a safe and compliant installation. This includes using approved enclosures for equipment, providing adequate support for equipment, and protecting equipment from physical damage. Furthermore, it's important to consider the potential for future changes or additions to the electrical system. When possible, it's best to install spare capacity in the form of extra conduit or cable to accommodate future needs. This can save time and money in the long run by avoiding the need to rerun wiring. The NEC is a complex and constantly evolving document. Staying current with the latest edition of the NEC and consulting with qualified electrical professionals is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. By following the NEC requirements and best practices, you can help to protect people from electric shock and reduce the risk of fire. In the situation described, where an NM cable is run through drilled holes in 2x12 rafters 6 inches above a suspended ceiling, and no part of the cable is laid on or suspended from the ceiling, it would not typically be considered an open run, as the term is used in NEC section 334.12. The rafters provide support and a degree of protection to the cable. However, always ensure the installation adheres to other NEC requirements for support and protection of NM cable, such as proper stapling and protection from physical damage. Local interpretations and amendments to the NEC can vary, so consulting with the local authority having jurisdiction, or OJ, is always a good practice. They can provide definitive guidance based on local codes and interpretations. Remember, the goal of the NEC is to provide practical safeguards for people and property from hazards arising from the use of electricity. Adhering to its guidelines and seeking clarification when needed are crucial steps in ensuring electrical safety. If the NM cable were to be run in a manner that it was exposed and transported within the suspended ceiling space, that would likely be considered an open run and would violate NEC section 334.12. The key is that the cable must be adequately supported and protected. Drilling through the rafters provides that support and protection as long as the installation is done correctly and the cable is not damaged in the process. Always use good workmanship practices when installing electrical wiring. This includes ensuring that all connections are tight, that conductors are properly insulated, and that wiring is neatly and securely installed. Good workmanship not only improves the safety and reliability of the electrical system, but also makes it easier to troubleshoot and maintain in the future. In addition to the NEC, there may be other applicable codes and standards that apply to electrical installations. These may include local building codes, fire codes, and environmental regulations. It's important to be aware of all applicable codes and standards and to ensure that your installation complies with all requirements. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and techniques being developed all the time. Staying up to date with the latest industry trends and best practices is essential for electrical professionals. This can be accomplished by attending industry conferences, reading trade publications, and participating in continuing education courses. By staying informed about the latest developments in the electrical industry, you can ensure that you are providing your clients with the best possible service. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from harm. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, and following safe work practices. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it's best to hire a licensed electrical contractor. A licensed contractor has the training, experience, and insurance necessary to perform electrical work safely and correctly. In conclusion, the determination of whether running NM cable through drilled rafters above a suspended ceiling constitutes an open run depends on the specific details of the installation and the interpretation of the local authority having jurisdiction. However, in general, if the cable is properly supported and protected by the rafters, it would not be considered an open run and would be permitted by the NEC. Always consult with a qualified electrical professional to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrical professional before performing any electrical work. The NEC is a living document that is constantly being updated to reflect changes in technology and best practices. It's important to stay current with the latest edition of the NEC to ensure that your electrical installations are safe and compliant.